Hello everyone. Today I am going to present about the crisis of maternal identity in post-colonial Africa. Yes, this is my personal information, table of contents, and the research question is that how does the joys of motherhood by Buchi Imijita represent maternal identity as a site of crisis under the combined pressure of indigenous patriarchy and British colonialism in post-colonial Nigeria? And hypothesis is that this study hypothesized that in the joys of motherhood, maternal identity is not a natural source of fulfillment, but a culturally constructed and politically exploited role. And Imichita demonstrate that indigenous patriarchy and colonial capitalism together distort the process of matricide, turning motherhood into a form of unpaid labor and emotional enslavement that erase women's individual subjectivity, as in the tragic fate of Nuigo and the contrasting survival of Adaku. So first, I have choose particular this topic because in and around we can find this situation like Nuigo Fest. So this is relevant in today's time also. So this is the important aspects which we can find here, and in this we can find the many theories applied in this work, that feminist, womanist, post-colonial, and matricines also. So this explores that how motherhood becomes a site of psychological distortion and economic exploitation and social control rather than empowerment. So through the contrasting lives of Nuigo and Adaku, the novel reveals that maternal identity is not instinctive or liberating, but socially produced and politically regulated. Then earlier, presenter mentioned that Buji Michita's introduction, but main point here we can find that Buji Imijita called herself a feminist with a small f, rejecting prescriptive Western feminism. And then here we can find historical movements also connected with this novel, and this described as the first work in African literature to register disgust at patriarchal oppression from a female viewpoint. Then theories like which we can find in this work, that womanism, that it formulated to address the unique experience of women of color, race, and gender oppression are inseparable. Then here in this image, it has feminist with a small f stance aligns with womanism's pragmatism. And then second one is black feminism and intersectionality, that race, class, and gender oppression interact to create unique experience that cannot be analyzed in isolation. So here one we can see that Nuigo's oppression at the interaction of colonial rule, indigenous patriarchy, and capitalist poverty. So here we can find the homogeneity of women as a group is mistaken for the historically specific material reality. Then post-colonial feminism, that how this here we can find that demands women's solidarity based on shared struggle against colonialism, capitalism, racism, and patriarchy. That here that critiques Western feminism for treating third world women as a homogeneous and victimized group. That how they just try to manipulate them, and this is like a third world woman, they treat them. That is the here concern. Then Imecheta's novel is a practical instance of Mohanty's theory, women multiply marginalized. So this mentioned in this Buffy's article. Then feminist theory criticism and matricide theory, that irony and narrative structure expose contradictions between culture rhetoric and women's actual lives. And matricide like Dana Raphael's developmental theory of becoming a mother, a process, not an instinct. Then patriarchal culture fundamentally disrupts a healthy matricide by denying that individual agency. Then here we can find matricide and the distortion of maternal identity. So matricide, that what is the point here? We can find the developmental process of becoming a mother, then comparable in scope to adolescence, involving identity reorganization, relationships, and psychological transformation in patriarchal context. This neutral process is systematically disordered. Then here we can find four aspects, that identity fusion and cultural erasure, maternal self-sacrifice and self-erasure, then economic dimension of matricide, and children as an instrument of patriarchal control. So here children is instruments of patriarchal control. Here we can find that Nuigo's son, who benefits from her sacrifices and ultimately abandoned her. The novel's tragic conclusion revealed the cruel irony that how Nuigo died and all the things. So patriarchal motherhood ultimately served to reproduce the very system that constrained women. Then the double colonization of Nigerian women. So here we can find the two side, that indigenous patriarchy and British colonialism. So in this indigenous patriarchy, we can find that women were defined solely through childbearing, barren or sonless women, socially ostracized. So in this we can find that how women became very like they manipulate the woman, and this we can find the in the contemporary time also this situation. Then British colonialism that disrupted pre-colonial female authority structures, then excluded women from new colonial economy and administration. So here we can find that Naif humiliated as a washerman and vents frustration on Nuigo. So this is problematic here. Then colonial patriarchal regimes intensify the marginalization of third world women, as I earlier mentioned also. And here, quote, that they are all slaves, including us. If their master treat them badly, they will take it out on us. It's by Cordelia, Ubani's wife, and in the joys of motherhood. Nuigo versus Sadako, two women, two destinies. That here, Nuigo traditional conformity and Adaku modern rebellion. And that how Nuigo's identity derives selfhood entirely from roles as a daughter, wife, and mother. So this is, and from Adaku that refuses to define selfhood through Naif's approval or through bearing sons. So here we can find that final thoughts from Nuigo, that dies alone at roadside, the ultimate irony after lifelong maternal sacrifice. From Adaku, lives in relative comfort, and daughters educated, and body self-determined womanhood. Then motherhood as a enslavement key textual evidence. So here we can find the sum of quotes and how it relate with these topics. That it was not fair the way men cleverly used a woman's sense of responsibility to actually enslave her. They knew that a traditional wife like herself would never dreams of leaving her children. So this is from Imichitas, and it's cited in Ogun Rotimi's article, and that Nuigo's epiphany reveals that maternal love is weaponized to erasure female complacence. And conclusion, that the ironic title is a critique. These are the key arguments which we can find here, that maternal identity is culturally constructed and contested. Then double colonization we can find here in this work. Then female solidarity is a unrealized alternative. Then matricide requires cultural conditions that patriarchy denies. So these five are the main arguments in this. And final conclusion, that the choice of motherhood systematically dismantles the romanticized image of African motherhood, that there is a no something like a joy, but there is pain also, and and we can find that how women suffer from all the situations. So that is the main concern here we can find. And final learning outcomes that I understand maternal identity as a social construction, and I apply feminist and post-colonial theories to literature and differentiate between traditional conformity and resistance, and also recognize motherhood as a economic and emotional labor. So these are my work references, and thank you so much. If you have a question, then ask.
Shruti, my question is, to what extent does Amichita expose motherhood as a enslavement without rejecting it entirely?
Uh, yes, Emechita does not deny the emotional value of motherhood, but it exposes that how it is manipulated by culture and economy. And she critique that compulsory motherhood, not maternal love itself, but by showing that how love became this obligation and labor. And she distinguishes between this natural affection and ideological exploitation. So that is the answer.
So, Shruti, my question is maternal love becomes a tool of social control. Explain it.
Okay. Woman's emotional attachment to children, it prevents that from them from this escaping abusive marriage or poverty. So it's patriarchal uses this love to ensure this obedience and endurance, and this affection is transformed into discipline, and this making resistance and emotionally costly. So this is the answer of it. Thank you so much. This is from my side.